Hey everybody, Joe here, coming to you from my wife's closet. She's out at the store right now, so I'm using this space because the lighting is pretty good, and I can set up on this little glass area right here, and I can bring some of the watches out from the safe and just set up here, and it's all on the same floor, and I don't have to go up and downstairs. So I just wanted to do kind of a 2021 watch year in review. Kind of the watches I purchased over the last 12 months, and just kind of talk about what I got, why I got them. I'm not going to go specific into very nitty gritty details about things like case sizes, weights, things like that. I just kind of want to show what I've got so you can kind of see the variety that I possess and I collect. I don't have a specific style. I have my likes, my dislikes. Sometimes I just see something and I go, "Oh, that looks cool. I want it," and and I get it. I generally don't sell things that I buy. I just have them, and then if I don't like it as much down the road, I just wear it less. But I eventually do work it in. But I just wanted to go through some of the things I bought in the last 12 months. Um, Watch check for today. I'm wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2. So I've got some stuff out of the safe, got some stuff set up here. So let's go through it. I'll try to go in chronological order, though I must admit some of these I'm not 100% certain which one I got in play before the other, or vice versa. And once I started really thinking about this video and kind of putting it together, it kind of shocked me how many watches I bought this past year. And I don't think my wife quite knows, so I'm not going to mention it or talk about it other than I'm a little shocked at myself. So let's start with what I know is the very first watch, and that was this Yema. This is a Yema Superman Bronze limited edition with a blue dial, blue bezel, ceramic, sapphire, and the serial number is customized for me for my birthday. So I requested, when they ran the 1,948 of these, I requested the serial number that corresponded with my birthday. I'm a big fan of Yema as tool watches. French company. They're set up in the east side of France. They do in-house movements. They also source from Salida. I've got several Supermans, several of their quartz watches. I love them. Never a problem with them. In fact, their customer service is pretty fantastic. When we were in Paris, I was curious about finding a shop that carried Yemas, and I just went on their chat function, standing on the Champs-Elysees, and I said, "Hey, my name's this. I've got a customer registration with them. I'm in Paris. Where can I look at some watches?" And they gave me a list of people, and they said, "Actually, from where you're standing now, there's some shops just a short walk." So very good customer service. I know people have complained about it, but I've had nothing but great luck. Anyway, so watch number one is this Yema Superman. Bronze again with blue dial. And then I sourced this blue leather strap from Barton Watch Brands. And Barton's a company that I really like a lot. I like a lot of their watch band products and watch straps. Not plugging. I'm not going to link or anything like that. They don't give me anything. I just like they're affordable and they work well. And they're quick release. If you can see in there, they've got that little quick release tab so you don't have to use special tools. Big plus. I love that. So that's number one. Number two, I think was another Yema. And it was this Yema, what's the, Mean Graph, that's right. So it's a Yema Mean Graph. And this is a Seiko Mecha Quartz movement. So it is a quartz movement. And I do collect some quartz watches because some days I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like messing around with date, time, winding. I'm behind. I grab a quartz and I just throw it on. Weekend, a lot of times I just will throw on a quartz watch just because I'm going to wear a watch all weekend and I'm and I just don't want to think about it. So I do buy quartz watches, and they have to catch my eye. That's the thing with all my watches. There's something about it I like. This being kind of a 70s retro race look is the reason I bought it, and it wasn't crazy expensive. It's not cheap by any means, but it's just a beautiful, well made. The case finish and everything is very nice, and it's just a well executed retro design. So that kind of speaks to me. Being that I'm in the classic cars and things like that, this is something I might wear on a Saturday drive, going to meet up with other car people or something. It's just a fun retro quartz watch. So that was number 2. Number 3, I believe, is this Signum Cuda. So this is made by a micro brand, Signum, and it's got an abalone dial. It is a 39 millimeter case. It's a dive watch, of course. It's got a Seiko, I believe it's an NH35, which is a workhorse, reliable, and it'll never break movement. So it's very reliable and all that. But for the money, and it was, not cheap, not expensive, but, it's several $100s. The fit finish quality is all very nice. I would guess the case and stuff is sourced from Seiko, as well as the bracelet. But everything wears very nicely. The abalone in the sunlight is spectacular. I love it. And again, it's Seiko quality on the inside. The case, it's got a sapphire crystal. The case back, if you can see, it wears it's got a barracuda etched into the case back, which is kind of cool. And then the loom on this thing the loom is fantastic. The loom on the bezel is really, really nice. The loom on the hands, and then on the crown, the company logo is also loomed, which is pretty slick. And one of my favorite things, I always say this, I love it. It has drilled lugs. So there's a lot of features packed into this watch. I think it's a $400 price point. Micro brand, but it uses good components. Again, I'm not repping. I'm not going to link anything. I have a loose relationship with the owner of this company, only through classic Alfa Romeos and things like that. We kind of run in the same circles, but he's from Europe, so it's not like he lives next door to me or anything. But again, he has a couple companies that may do some really nice, well finished dive watches, and then his other company, they do chronographs, driver watches, things like that, more sport watches. So check them out if you have a chance, or if you're curious about them, feel free. I'm not going to link anything for discounts because there isn't any. I'm just a fan. I like the watches. The Signum, you can get them with all types of different dials. Meteorite, you can get them in bronze, all types of different dial materials, which I find very cool. It's cool, it's experimental, it's different. People do ask about this because they see that abalone and they just look at it and go, "What is that?" I said, "Well, it's abalone." And it's shocking how many people don't know what abalone is. But yeah, I guess if you don't grow up on a coast, you wouldn't know it. But anyway, that was the next one. I think I'm up to number 3. I should put these up here in order. And then number 4, where's it at? Oh, right here. Number 4 was my Seagull. Chinese. It is we'll call it an homage piece to the original Seagull 1963s, which were Chinese pilot watches, military watches. And these are a reissue. This one I got, it's a 41 mil, and I paid a little extra. It has a sapphire crystal front and back, display back. And for the money, the display back and what it's displaying, the movement, is it's beautiful. Now, if you get in with a macro lens, some of the finishes are a little rough, but just looking at it with the bare eye, the mechanicals are just beautiful. Very well done, very well executed, beautiful watch. Definitely a watch I would say that true watch collectors and people that really enjoy watches, if they see one of these, they'll know what it is and know, okay, that guy likes watches. He appreciates watches. Again, not crazy expensive, but it's interesting. Interesting story behind the origins of this watch, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful watch to wear. Especially, I would say for sure, update or upgrade the strap. This strap, I can't remember what company I bought it from, but it is a combination of kind of this dark brown leather mixed with this olive drab military green nylon. So it kind of really fits with that military aesthetic that, you know, these watches were originally designed for. And I've also worn this with just a brown leather strap. Something like this. This is a race strap, but you kind of get the idea. You know, just a bare brown leather strap would look really nice and would even be appropriate for the watch at the time. So, and then also this watch, you can get it with an option for a swan neck regulator. And I don't know if I can easily get in close on this to describe it. I mean, I could see it, but it blends in with all the other mechanicals and polished pieces. But you can get a regular or get a swan neck regulator. I'm not going to go into the details of what is a swan neck and all that, but it's just a little bit more money. So I sprang for that since I figured, hey, it's not too much more money. You pay a little extra for the sapphire, pay a little extra for the swan neck, call it good. It's not going to break your bank. So that was number 4. And then it got and it gets interesting from here, only in the sense that I started kind of calculating money and going, how did I get so out of control this year? So the next one, in my last video, I was wearing this as I made it. It's a Mido Ocean Star Tribute. It's got a rose gold case with a blue dial. And the blue strap is the factory Mido strap. Case back is also finished in rose gold with the sea star on it, or the starfish, I should say. Now, it's not rose gold, it's rose gold PVD coating. Now, PVD coating is basically, it's like a polymer, coating that they're putting on a lot of, car wheels. It can look like chrome, but it's very durable. It doesn't wear very easily. It's very salt resistant, etc., etc. So for a dive watch, which is what this is, it's a good choice in coating that isn't a precious metal like gold, etc. I bought this in Paris. I had been hunting for a Mido Ocean Star in blue while we were on vacation. And every time we go on vacation, I always kind of have a target watch. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be looking for this or something like this. I happened to decide, I learned about Mido. They're not very well represented in the US. And I said, you know what, when we go on vacation, I'm going to try to hunt down a Mido. And specifically in the rose gold with the blue dial. So every city we were in, every big city like Milan, Rome, Paris, etc., I would pop into watch shops that had Midos on display and go, hey, do you have this? And most of them, no, they didn't. They have it in black, but I specifically wanted blue and rose gold. I'm a fan of blue dials, things like that. So blue is kind of my color, my go-to color. Anyway. So I actually, when I had a chat with Yema when I was in Paris, they said, hey, go to this watch shop. They're a Yema dealer, blah, blah, blah. I go to the watch shop. I went in to look at Yema's. I was almost going to pull the trigger on another Superman that I liked, kind of their version of a Batman diver. And I just happened to ask. I said, hey, do you happen to have a Mido Ocean Star in rose gold and blue? And they said, yeah, we think we have one put away in the back. We only got a couple from Mido, and we kind of had them there for some people in case they ask about it. We didn't want to display it. We just wanted to have them in case somebody asked. And I asked, and they happened to have one that they were willing to sell me and let go of. And so I walked out the door with this. And I love this watch. It's very simple. It's just it's a straight up dive watch, executed in a rose gold look. And the price point on these, they're around $1,000 retail. I was happy to pay it. I found the watch I wanted. Now you could probably find these a little bit cheaper online if you look, but I also like to have stories. I like to be able to say, I bought this watch while on vacation with my wife and my family. We were in Paris. I went to a watch shop, and it's just that story. It's not just, well, I bought it from a discounter online and they mailed it to me. Okay, that's cool too, but sometimes you want an experience or a story. You want that little bit of nostalgia attached to some of our watches. So that's what this did for me. So again, Mido Ocean Star. Midos, some of them, some people will kind of poo-poo on the movement because it's a Swatch. I think it's the Powermatic 80, the 80-hour reserve Swatch movement. I've had no problems with it. If I do, we'll see what happens. But thus far, I've had no issues. So that's number 5. And number 6 is not my watch, but I purchased it. So that's why it's going to be shown. And it's actually my wife's watch that I got her for our 10-year anniversary. And it is a Ladies Datejust 26 mil on a, I believe it's a Jubilee bracelet. It is gold and stainless bracelet with a diamond bezel and diamond markers. So that was my gift to her for our 10-year. It's funny holding this. It's just so small. But on her wrist, because she's so, she's tiny, she's like half my weight. On her it looks big, but on, me holding it, it's kind of ridiculous. But, I planned this watch for a good solid 9 months or so leading up to our anniversary. And she loved it. She's not a watch person. She has a few watches, but she would never, ever, ever, ever spend big money on a watch. But she wears it all the time. She loves it. She was thrilled, gasped, mouth dropped, all that when she opened the box. So she really loved it, wears it all the time. And again, it's a beautiful watch. It's a Datejust. It's classic. It'll always be in style. So for the rest of our lives, this will be something that just will always be pretty. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to get anything that was trendy. I wanted something that was classic because she's not a watch collector. She'll probably only have a few watches in our lifetime together. So make them count, right? So that was my thinking behind it. And what girl doesn't like gold and diamonds? So that's that. And then last was my birthday present to myself, and that was what was in the last video I made, and that was my Grand Seiko SBGE 255 GMT with the blue dial and blue bezel. And I don't have to go too deep into this because of the last video I made, but I love this watch. I adore it. It is everything and more than I thought I thought it would be. Simply just a glorious watch. I'll never sell it. I love it. Maybe I'll be buried with it. I just really do love this watch a lot. It is, maybe the best money I've spent, except for my wife's anniversary gift. I almost said that without realizing what I was saying, but save for my wife's anniversary gift, this might be the best money I've spent on a watch. I just really do adore this watch. I love it. So anyway, that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 watches I bought in 2021. I may have missed one. I didn't bring out all my watches out of the safe because I thought I nailed what I had purchased. I might have missed one. There's a good chance of that. But that's it. So that's my year in review. If you have any comments or questions. Now for 2022, I've already bought a watch. And I won't probably have it until the end of summer. Now, if you were following the Vostok Luna Dude kind of thing that was happening, where there was a gentleman in Norway, who was designing and working with Vostok to design a Lunadude, like kind of a cosmonaut floating in space type of thing. Something with that went tits up. Vostok basically backed out of it after they made some of the parts. They sold the parts online, and it's a whole fiasco. I don't know the details of it. I know just a little bit. But anyway, the designer of that, a gentleman named Ollie from Norway, I've chatted with him a little bit privately back and forth. But he's now working with a new company located in Oslo, and they're designing and they're building a new watch. Now it went from being a Vostok watch to now it's going to be made by a company called Micro Milspec, and it's going to be using a Sellita movement. The cases are all really high quality, custom dial, custom case back, all the above. So it kind of went from something that was like a couple $100 to something I think now is touching around 1,000. So the price definitely spiraled out, but I'm determined to get this watch one way or another. I don't really care who the maker is. I've been on this roller coaster for I think 2 years, so I just want my watch, and I'm not too worried about the price hike from one to the other. So someday I'll be able to show you that because I don't know how many people are getting it, but I want to say it's going to be in the hundreds, like 200-300 people are going to get one of these. And I'm very, very low on that wait list. So I know for sure I'm getting one. So someday I'll bring that to you. I did promise my wife I would go a little bit less nutty this year, but I'm already off to a bad start because I've already pre-ordered the Cosmo Diver Micro Milspec watch. So I'm going to do my best, but I've already kind of slipped. But after that, I'm going to try hard, maybe. So that's it. My year in review. As you can see, I mean, the watches vary from not very expensive to stupid expensive. I've got, kind of 70s retro race look watches to dive watches to, luxury watches. I'm all over the place. So I just love watches. Whatever, I'm kind of like Jay Leno in the car collecting world. Jay Leno has dozens and dozens and dozens of cars, but he's not necessarily brand loyal to something. He buys what he likes, what catches his eye. He might like the front end of a certain car, so he buys one, whatever it is. So I'm the same way. I'm not a brand whore in any way. I just like what I like. So if you have any comments, questions, please leave them. Subscribe or don't. I don't care. Again, I'm not sponsoring anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm just doing this for fun, just because I like watches, and I know there's a lot of you out there that like watches too. And I enjoy the discussions, especially with the Grand Seiko video I did last week. The comments and the discussion was really good. It was fun. It's nice to interact with people and just talk watches. I know privately I don't get that opportunity because I don't really have any friends or family that care about watches. They have their cell phone or their Apple Watch, and that's it. They just don't care. So for me, it's fun to interact with people who share the love, if you will. So that's it. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee and relax and let this video upload. We'll chat later. Talk to you guys later. Bye.